Before Europe raised its first great kingdom, before knights, crusades, or royal crowns, Africa already had queens who commanded armies, shaped global trade, and ruled vast empires with unmatched brilliance. These women didn't simply lead, they reshaped the ancient world. Today, we uncover the stories of 5 African queens whose power rose centuries before Europe's global influence, yet their names rarely appear in our history books. Africa has never been one story. It was a continent of empires: Nubia, Axum, Egypt, Mali, the Hausa states, each rising, falling, and reinventing civilization. And within these kingdoms stood women whose intelligence, strength, and strategy helped build the foundations of world history. Let's begin our journey. The lioness who challenged Rome. In the ancient kingdom of Kush, just south of Egypt, ruled a queen whose courage shook the greatest empire on earth. Her name was Amanirenas. When Rome demanded tribute, she refused. Not only that, she launched a counterstrike, storming Roman forts in Egypt and sending a bold message to Emperor Augustus himself. Rome struck back with force, but Amanirenas met him head-on. The result? A peace treaty where Kush paid nothing, a deal so rare it almost never happened in Rome's history. And here's the part most people never hear. The treaty lasted nearly 300 years. Amanirenas wasn't just defending her land, she forced Rome to treat her kingdom as an equal. The diplomat of the Red Sea Empire. You may know the name Queen of Sheba, but behind the legend stands a real ruler, Queen Makeda of Axum. She ruled an empire stretching across modern Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Yemen, long before Europe was anything close to unified. Her story appears in Ethiopian history, Arabian records, Jewish tradition, and the Bible, each offering a different angle but all agreeing on one thing: she was powerful, educated, and politically brilliant. Under Makeda, Axum controlled massive international trade routes: gold, ivory, frankincense, spices, linking Africa and the Middle East. She didn't just rule a kingdom, she shaped global connections that lasted for centuries. The warrior architect of West Africa. Next is Queen Amina of Zazzau, a leader who transformed northern Nigeria through strategy and innovation. Amina expanded her state's borders through expertly planned campaigns. She opened trade routes that stretched across West Africa, and she built fortified walls, the legendary Amina walls, some of which still stand today. But there's more. Amina was not only a warrior, she was a master of economics and urban planning. Under her rule, Zazzau became one of the wealthiest and most influential city-states in the region. The negotiator who outsmarted empires. In Central Africa, in the kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba, rose a queen whose mind was sharper than any sword. Queen Nzinga was a diplomat, a strategist, and a defender of her people during one of the most intense political eras in the region. She formed alliances, rebuilt her armies, and used intelligence and strategy to protect her kingdom. And here's the forgotten truth. Her political reforms kept her nation strong long after her death, a sign of her extraordinary leadership. Nzinga proved that true power isn't always on the battlefield. Sometimes it's at the negotiating table. The Pharaoh who built Egypt's golden age. Nearly 3,500 years ago, a woman rose to Egypt's highest throne, not as queen, but as pharaoh. Her name was Hatshepsut, and her reign became one of Egypt's greatest golden ages. She built monumental temples, including the stunning Deir el-Bahari. She restored long-distance trade routes across the Red Sea. She strengthened Egypt's wealth without war. Her trade expedition to the Kingdom of Punt brought incense, gold, and exotic goods that fueled Egypt's prosperity for generations. These were not ordinary rulers. They were nation builders, diplomats, warriors, master strategists. Their empires rose long before Europe claimed world dominance, yet their names were nearly erased from the story of human history. But today, their voices rise again. I am Dicky, and this is Dicky Explores History. If you love discovering hidden history, lost kingdoms, and stories the world forgot, subscribe, like, and share, and join me on the journey.